feeling was incredible. Today I take 1-1 and the pole position yesterday. It's a perfect weekend, I think.
C'est super de venir et de gagner ici. J'étais vraiment content de venir ici à Portil pour la piste vraiment extraordinaire.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from, and welcome to Gdansk for round number 3 of the 2025 European Quadcross Championship. My name's Bradley Hicks and we are watching highlights of race number 1. The 15-second board went up, the 5-second board promptly thrown aloft. Following on, keep your eye on the right-hand side. On the front row, number 741, Carl Robin Grillo. He made a lightning start on the run towards this 180-degree right-hander, but unfortunately it washed away from him, and it's 416, Roman Gwiazda, the home hero, who took the whole shot ahead of the number 1 of Harry Walker. So the Polish rider led the Brit in the first half of the opening lap, with Patrick Turini right there, 16th gate pick. He was up to 4th already. Harry Walker, he soon overcame the number 416 of Roman Gwiazda and Carl Robin Rillo, who was 6th at the exit of turn number 1. He was finding his way through the pack as well. Patrick Turini up the inside of Roman Gwiazda to take 2nd position in the early stages of this race. Laurenas Mikalauskas and Carlis Neyer, they were fighting over 4th position while this was unfolding before us. Carl Robin Rillo in 6th place. He would make up a few more positions as the race wore on. But there we can see this beautiful Gdansk circuit laid out before us. Warm weather here in Gdansk, around about 24, 25 degrees Celsius. And as Harry Walker said, it is so important to keep hydrated. But here was the fight for the race lead. Patrick Turini doing everything he could to try and overcome the number 1 of Harry Walker. Yamaha versus Yamaha. No real advantage to either of these guys in terms of machinery performance. But it is the 15 of Patrick Turini who tries he might. It was unfortunately to no avail as Harry Walker took 25 points to Patrick Turini's 22. Great camaraderie within the Quadcross paddock. But this is how the championship looks coming into this weekend. Turini leads by 3. At the end of the race 1, they are level on points, I make it. Harry Walker on 89, Mike van Grinsven on 70, Zenica 68, Carl Robin Rillo 60, and unfortunately a rear left wheel being removed from the machine. In fact, it was very similar to Julian Feldman in Kremlin, if we cast our minds back. The rear wheel parting company with Carl's Yamaha, and that saw him score no points earlier on. Randy Naveau in the mix as well, as is the 96 of Yuri Kasper, but those two guys not here this weekend. This is how they would take to the gate then. Carl Robin Rillo looking to improve on his race 1 performance. Harry Walker looking to repeat his success. And Mark McLernon, overall victor here 1 year ago. He was 3rd in the qualifying race yesterday. Mike van Grinsven ahead of the Latvian duo of Rainis Bikans and Carlis Neyer with Helibus, Gwiazda, Jumerich and Gila. That was the top 10 in the qualifying race yesterday. Let's have a look 11th through to 20th. Laurenas Mikalauskas, Rasmus Sona, Julian Veldman and Mike Verboven, the single-digit 2, and the 22, the Dutch pairing 13th and 14th in yesterday's qualifying race. Race Dick, Patrick Turini, 16th gate pick. He's got it all to do again. He was 4th on the opening lap due to a lightning start behind Carl Robin Rillo, and he will be looking to repeat that, I am sure. 7 Polish riders here, unfortunately earlier on today, one of which did not make it out onto the group gate, unfortunately. Manfred Zenica, 31st and final gate pick after an issue in yesterday's qualifying race. As we said, around about 25 degrees here in Gdansk and no wind whatsoever. There we can see the flags not flying in the breeze as they were earlier on today. At least those ones weren't anyway. But there you can see we're right on the northern coast of Poland, right against the Baltic Sea. And as the riders make their way out onto the gate, then Karl Robin Rillo will lead them out. Certainly looking for a change in fortune is the 18-year-old Estonian. Harry Walker and Mark McClernand will follow him out onto the gate. There he is. Keep an eye on that rear left wheel. That is the one that was broken off of the machine, and that saw him drop all the way down the order. No points scored in race number 1 for the teenage Estonian, but the 741, he will take the first gate pick. And again, everybody seemingly going for the same gate pick as what they had earlier on today, as far to the right-hand side as possible. There's Harry Walker, 2-time British champion, 1-time European Championship winner to the left of our picture, in fact out of our picture now. Mark McClernand just shifting the big Yamaha 450 into his preferred position. Mike van Grinsven, the red number 11, will be to his left-hand side. The 23, the Latvian of Rainis Bīkans. There is the number 69 of Carlis Neyer, getting his gate pick all perfect in prime position. The 32, the Norwegian rider of Tarald Hellebust, Roman Gviadsta. We need to keep an eye on Roman Gviadsta. He made a storming start in race number 1 and took the whole shot. 526, Jordi Nicholas Gieler, one of 2 German riders here this weekend, the other of which is, of course, 89 Manfred Zienicke. We'll get to him in just a second. Laurenas Mikalauskas, he was 4th. And a fist bump there between himself and the 222, the Estonian of Rasmus Sona. 22, Mike Verboven. And 71 there is Tadeusz Raistig. So Julian Veldman not out there on the gate. Number 15, Patrick Torini. He is on the front row with the 165. It certainly looks as though it could well be the 165 of Mikolaj Jermeric. So Mikolaj, who was 9th in yesterday's qualifying race, that's a very interesting decision there from Mikolaj to go to the left-hand side of the gate. So there we have it. From right to left, Karl Robin Rillo, Harry Walker, Mark McClernand, and then the number 11 of Mark van Grinsven, Rainis Bīkans, Carlis Neyer, Tarald Hellebust, and Roman Gviadsta. Row number 2, there is Manfred Zienicke. And it looks as though we may have lost a few riders who won't be taking part in this race. So 15 on the front row as ever. Get the phones out, get the camera on, and press that record button. You don't want to miss the start of this race. There it is, the TM Torini Motorsport fans, supporters, team, family, watching on, making the trip over from Italy. Lots of support here for all of these guys, but no less the Polish riders, Roman Gwiazda, Mikolaj Jermeric. And then we have Viktor Kuchmichak, Kamil Rabkowski, Marcin Wozniak, Kasper Bukowski, and Kasper Miskowski. 7 Polish riders entered into this weekend, 10 nationalities in total. But it is Harry Walker. He had 25 points in race number 1. Patrick Torini took 22 points. The green flag has been waved. 15-second board is up, so it will be clutches in, kick it into gear, and then all eyes down to the gate. When that 5-second board is thrown up into the air, Dave Edwards keeps a very close eye on his stopwatch. The countdown is on, 15 is down, 5-second board is up. Off the circuit, all eyes down to the gate, and there's a bit of a movement there for Mark McClernand and Karl Robin Rillo, but those trio on the right-hand side of the gate there. Mark McClernand's been swamped. Oh, there's been a nasty accident towards the rear of the field then, but it looked as though that could well have been Karl Robin Rillo, who was the whole shot. And we'll keep a close eye on that one there, but let's have a look at the front of the race. So Mark McClernand was swamped in the pack there, but it was a good start for Karl Robin Rillo. Harry Walker, we're looking to follow suit as well, but there he is. In fact, he's mired down in the pack, 7th or 8th position for the reigning champion. Karl Robin Rillo has made a much better start this time around than what he did earlier on. There he is in the centre of your picture, white crash helmet, red jersey for the 741 of Karl Robin Rillo. We'll try and pick out who it may have been involved in that incident off of the starting gate, but we do hope that everybody is okay. I'm sure we'll get an update very shortly as everybody filters their way through. Inside jump for the majority of these guys. 3 or 4 riders opting for that outside line. But there we can see just how much the track conditions have changed from race 1 to this, race number 2. The dust really starting to kick up already. Mark McClellan and Carl Robin Rillo side by side in 3rd and 4th position. Patrick Torini in 5th place. Watching them drop down then all the way 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Everybody through safely. Harry Walker, there he is on the inside line. Looks like Manfred Zieneker is trying to find a way through. The German and the British riders, 89 and number 1, fighting for track position. The dust will be certainly not helping these guys as they come around over that big tabletop into the left-hander, and we are completing lap number 1. 32, Tarald Hellebust leads the way. The Norwegian rider, Tarald Hellebust, for what could well be the first time in his career, leads the way in the European Quadcross race. Patrick Torini has made up 11 positions. Manfred Zieneker is up to 7th. And further down the order as well, lots of changes of position there. But the big news is that Roman Gviadsta, the local rider, he took the whole shot earlier on. There we can see we do have the yellow flags. And that white flag with the red cross means no jumping. So all of these guys will be slowing down, no jumping there until they're out of that section. And then it's full gas. And that is Carl Robin Rillo. He's taken advantage and he makes his way through on Roman Gviadsta. So that is for 2nd position in this race in the very early stages. Dropping down now then over the big double, Carl Robin Rillo. This is where he needs to be. He's got clear track in front of him much sooner than what he had in race number 1. So Tarald Hellebust leads the way ahead of Carl Robin Rillo. There is Roman Gviadsta. Mark McClellan up next ahead of Patrick Torini. And Harry Walker, who did not make the best of starts there. Walker is down in 6th position at the end of lap number 1. So not coming across the line on this opening lap then. We know that a few riders didn't make the start either, but Julian Feldman, Tadeusz Rejstik, Gediminas Volkovicius, Ayrton Knowles, the British rider, Semen 391, Gidrius Nishinovas and Kasper Bukowski not completing lap number 1. Whether that was not taken to the gate initially, I suspect it could well be. But look at the dust being kicked up now by the rear wheels of these 450 Quadcross machines. McClellan trying to find a way through there. Difficult to see the numbers from this distance, but Harry Walker, we can spot that bright white jersey. They're trying to go 3 wide through this final left-hand bend. But Hellebust, Rillo, Gviadsta, Torini and McClellan is your top 5. Watching them round now. 25 minutes plus 2 laps will be the duration as ever for this race. But Zieneker there in 7th position, behind Walker but ahead of Carlos Neyer. Then it's Rhinus Beekans and Jordi Nicholas Gieler. Yellow flag still waving, but no white flag with a red cross on it. So that is to say that jumping is allowed. Oh, someone stopped on the inside of the corner. One of our leading trio then stopped on the inside of the corner. McClellan is through, as is Zieneker. Let's have a look on the times when they do come around, or further around the circuit then. So Tarald Hellebust, number 32, the Norwegian rider, leads the way. There is Harry Walker, chasing hard on Roman Gviadsta, number 416. So Gviadsta, 3rd across the timing line, 1 lap ago, but Harry Walker is right there. And no one will know better than Harry Walker that what he needs to do is finish ahead of Torini. That will be the one and only thing on his to-do list coming into this race. Finish ahead of Patrick Torini. And likewise, Torini will have the same thing about Harry Walker on his to-do list as well. They are level on points as we come into this race. 3 points. What's the gap coming away from Fox Hills, round number 2, here to Gdansk for the 3rd of 5 rounds. 3 points was the gap, and Harry outscored Patrick by 3 earlier on today. Here we go then, Hellebust, Rillo across the line, then it's Gviadsta, Walker, Zieneker, McClellan, Torini has dropped down the order then, so it may have been Torini who was stopped on the inside of that right-hand bend that we saw. Torini down in 7th place, ahead of Carlos Neyer and Rhinus Beekans, but here's Harry Walker looking for a move on the 416 of Roman Gviadsta, the Polish rider defending his 3rd place position at this stage, ahead of the reigning champion of Harry Walker. Yellow flag still out, and there is a quad machine just to the left-hand side of the picture there as Roman Gviadsta takes a look to his left-hand side, and Harry Walker, that was almost a mirror signal manoeuvre there for the reigning champion. He wants that red plate. He wants the championship lead as we go into the next round in Latvia. Of course, that is a few months away from now. But what good would it do to Harry Walker for his confidence to take the red plate away from Turini for himself as we go into round number 4 in a couple of months' time? Here is Walker, and the gap is already over 6 seconds between him and Carl Robin Rillo. But Harold Hellebust, not sure what changes he's made between race 1 and race 2, but he leads the way by 0.8 of a second over Carl Robin Rillo. 32, 741, 416 was the order, but of course now the big number 1 of Harry Walker has made his way through into 3rd place. Patrick Turini is the man in your picture, trying to look for an opportunity to put his number 15 machine ahead of the 919 Ulsterman of Mark McClernand. Watching them round now then, here is Harold Hellebust and Carl Robin Rillo. And look at that already, 18 minutes and 2 laps to go, and Harry Walker's not in sight. In fact, there he is now. Carl Robin Rillo, oh, I thought he was going to make a move then. You get the sense, don't you, that it's a matter of when and if not if he makes the pass. Looking to the inside, Hellebust has got it covered, using the outside berm, carrying that momentum. Such a technical, fast circuit as well here in Gdansk, as we said, right on the Baltic Sea. Only a couple of kilometres away. Over the big double, into the left-hander. The same line once again, and Carl Robin Rillo, he can't get much closer to the rear axle of Harold Hellebust here, can he? The 32, emblazoned large, emblazoned proud, onto the back of the Norwegian Harold Hellebust. But Carl Robin Rillo, the former Finnish quadcross champion, the former Estonian quadcross champion, and of course a previous red plate holder within the European Series, back when he was just 16 years of age. Quick change of gear mid-air there for Harold Hellebust as he gets ready for this 180-degree left-hander. Over the top of that double once again, we can see the heat really starting to pick up now. Into the closing part of this lap then, one more corner to go, and then the timing line will give us an updated gap, and it is less than 0.6 of a second. 0.597 is the gap between Hellebust and Rillo. Harry Walker lapping 0.2 of a second quicker than Carl Robin Rillo, but it is still 7.3 seconds between him and the Estonian in front. Roman Gwiazda, Patrick Turini inside the top 5. Turini ahead now of McClernand. But Hellebust, he is your race leader, and he'll be absolutely delighted to be at the front of this event. As we said, it could well be the first time in his career, I stand to be corrected on that one, but it could well be the first time in his career that he has led a European quadcross race. And look at him, he's doing it in dominant fashion as well, keeping Carl Robin Rillo at bay in these early stages. The 18-year-old still there, stalking the Norwegian. Harry Walker is ahead of Patrick Turini, with Roman Gwiazda in between himself and his arch rival for this year's championship. I don't believe this track was watered between FIM World Sidecar Cross Championship race number 1, the first of their 2 Grand Prix races, and it is quite telling as well. We can see how much the dust is being kicked up from the rear wheels of these 450cc quads. Over this big double once again into the left-hander, and that will be another lap down with Harold Hellebust leading the way. Carl Robin Rillo 0.6 of a second behind. They're lapping almost exactly the same is Hellebust and Rillo. Harry Walker up next to 41.7, 1/10 of a second quicker than Hellebust and Rillo. But as we said in race number 1, we are now into the second half of the 2025 championship. Yellow flag just being shown to Harold Hellebust as we go into this part of the circuit. I thought that medical flag was just being waved there, but I believe it is just being put away, in fact, and it nearly caught out Harold Hellebust. Nonetheless, he still holds the advantage over Carl Robin Rillo. Here we go then, dropping down to the lower end of the circuit. Over this big double, plenty of airtime, 3 seconds, 4 seconds in the air for Hellebusch and Carl Robin Rillo. Difficult left-hand jump to negotiate as well, which brings them down into this swooping left. Carl Robin Rillo trying to use the outside berm, but isn't quite close enough to make a challenge at the moment. While the battle rages on at the front, let's have a quick mention for the Polish riders. Roman Gwiazda in 4th place, ahead of Mikołaj Ziemeriak, who's in 13th. Kasper Miskowski in 16th position, with Viktor Kuzmiszak in 18th. Marcin Wozniak, number 177, in 20th position. Kamil Rabkowski in 22nd. Watch them. Here is the number 15 of Patrick Turini, trying to find a way through, but not this time around. Roman Gwiazda is the man in front, and last time around, Patrick Turini was the quicker man by almost a second. Safe to say that Turini has the pace at this stage. Hellebusch, Rillo, Walker all across the line. Gwiazda will be next up with Turini right in tow. There they are in your picture. And the gap less than half a second between the Polish rider and the Italian. Turini looking for an inside line. Gwiazda has it covered. He moves his machine to the inside. Turini, no opportunity to square it off this time around. The 416 and the 15 battling hard for this 4th place. And Turini knows he needs to find a way through as soon as possible. It almost happened right there in that right-hander. He's going for the inside line once again. This is where he got bogged down a couple of laps ago. No such dramas this time around, but it certainly didn't work for him. And Roman Gwiazda, a slight amount of breathing room now between himself and Turini. Over the double, brings them nicely into this left-hander. And we can see this circuit really is very hard-packed. We can see the stones and the rocks within the mud as well. Manfred Zienicke, incidentally, has moved up to 7th position ahead of Carlos Sneyer and Rainer Bikans. So the German now ahead of the Latvian duo of 69 Naya and 23 Bikans. Here's the battle for the lead. Carl Robin Rillo trying to take advantage, but Tarod Hellebusch, he just holds on to the race lead. Tarod Hellebusch, this is a great ride for the Norwegian rider. Number 32, Tarod Hellebusch, take your hat off, defending from multiple-time national champion and former championship leader within the European Series, Carl Robin Rillo. Different lines, once again, Carl Robin Rillo keeps it tight, but Hellebusch leads by 0.8 of a second. Earlier on, we saw lap times in the 39s. This time around, Rillo is in the 1 minute 40s. Nobody else has gone underneath the 1 minute 41 bracket. But it doesn't matter how quick your lap times are. What is important is track position. And Tarod Hellebusch is having a storming ride out in front of Carl Robin Rillo, who in turn has 6.1 seconds advantage over Harry Walker, who has put in his quickest lap of the race on that previous lap. Oh, Tarod Hellebusch there, a little bit sideways on the exit, but just about has it under control. But Carl Robin Rillo, he can sense that the pressure that he's applying is starting to hamper the number 32 of Tarod Hellebusch. They're side by side over the double. Carl has the inside line. Tarod, I don't think, has the opportunity to retaliate. Here we go. Carl Robin Rillo takes the race lead ahead of Hellebusch now. And some tail enders will be coming into play. The blue flags will be waving frantically for the tail enders to move out of the way, as they do perfectly. But Rillo then leads the way for the first time in the race. Tarod Hellebusch defended that race lead for so long, and already, can you believe it, 10 minutes remain in this one. We're already approaching half race distance. So much drama, so much action has happened before us, that we're already now under 10 minutes with 2 laps to go remaining in this race. Harry Walker has got some work to do. 7 seconds behind the leaders, 6.1 seconds behind second position at the time, Carl Robin Rillo, but is now Tarod Hellebusch. Rillo yet to stand on the overall podium. Of course, the issues earlier on today with the broken left rear wheel, reminiscent of Julian Feldman in Kramelin at the start of the season. That will certainly hamper his chances for a good overall spot. But nonetheless, Roman Gwiazda comes into our picture now. Patrick Turini ahead of Gwiazda on not the previous lap, but the lap beforehand. Zienicke, McLernan, Bikans, Naya. That is 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th place. as we now wait for 526 of Jordi Nicholas Gieler. In fact, it's Rasmus Sona, the 222 machine, who is through next to round out the top 10. But there is Carl Robin Rillo over the double. A little bit loose on the landing there, but Carl's taken it all into his stride. It can't be understated how easy these guys make it look, but you can guarantee that this is one of the hardest sports out there. It's so physically and mentally demanding is any form of motocross, sidecar cross, quad cross, whatever it may be. The jumps, the difficulty with the terrain. Carl Robin Rillo leads this race with 8.5 minutes to go, plus the 2 laps. Harold Hellebust, don't think he's got an answer for the pace of Carl Robin Rillo at this stage. He seems to be losing a little bit of time now, does the Norwegian rider. Looks as though we may have lost Jordi Nicholas Gieler from this race. He's dropped down to the bottom of my timing screen here. Marcin Wozniak now up into 19th position with Eduardo Cazzola, the next rider through, who looks on course now to score a point in the European Championship. There's Walker. 3.5 seconds is the gap between him and Harold Hellebust. But Rillo now has a 2.9 second advantage over Hellebust. And a 1 minute 41.8 on that previous lap. Hellebust a 43.3 and Harry Walker a 41.7. So it is Harry Walker who is the quickest man on the circuit on that previous lap. We're watching Hellebust now making his way through some of the tail enders. That looks as though it could well be the 177 of Marcin Wozniak, the local rider in 19th position. Looking on course to score 2 points in this final race. Harry Walker through on Wozniak as well. Blue flags being waved, but he's already through. There is Hellebust, there's Walker. That is the gap for second position. In numerical terms, it's 3.5 seconds. In physical terms, it's not a whole lot. As we watch Harry Walker then over this big single into the right-hander, we can see just how much this circuit has cut up throughout the course of this race. But Harold Hellebust, he can't rest on his laurels just yet because Harry Walker is on a charge. 0.3 quicker in the first third of the circuit, half a second quicker in the middle part of the circuit, and we're coming around now, just 2 more corners to go before the timing line. There's Carl Robin Rillo with the white crash helmet and the red jersey. He is away with this at the front. Walker, the big number 1, he is looking on course to snatch the red plate away from his arch rival, Patrick Torini, if it was to remain this way. The gap between Hellebust and Walker now 2.5 seconds, and Hellebust a 42.8, Walker a 41.8. Patrick Torini is going a little bit quicker than Harry Walker, but is 6.1 seconds adrift. There is Torini in your picture, number 15. Championship leader, but how much longer can we say that for? Look at that. So much grip from the rear tyres of his Yamaha 450 that it's bringing up the front of his machine. Blue flags being waved as number 545, I believe there, Laurynas Mikalauskas, the Lithuanian rider. He is currently in 18th position there, so Mikalauskas, who was 4th on the opening lap in race number 1, he is currently circulating in 18th position. But there's Carl Robin Rillo, the big number 741. He will go to the outside of Mikalauskas to put him a lap down as we speak. Through he goes then, out of picture and out of sight now. Hellebust, he holds on to second position, but Harry Walker is on a charge. He is going quicker in all sectors of this Gdansk circuit. 2.4 seconds was the gap. Torini went personal best last time around. Further down the order, Mike Verboven has made his way through on Mike van Grinsven. So the 22 ahead of the 11, the 2 Dutchmen in 13th and 14th position. But round this left-hander, Rillo's already through the picture. Next up will be Hellebust. But Harry Walker, it's 1.1 seconds. Harry Walker, plenty of time left in this race to get onto the rear axle of Harold Hellebust. It's the British rider against the Norwegian rider. 32 against the big number 1 of Walker. Twice a British Quadcross champion, and of course is the reigning and defending European champion. Is that Mikalauskas, one of the tail enders? And indeed it is, the Lithuanian of 545, Laurynas Mikalauskas. Just been overtaken now by Harry Walker and Tarod Hellebuss, third and second position. But of course, the point scoring system, 25 points for the win, 22 for second, 20 points for third. If it was to remain this way with Walker in third and Turini in fourth, he would have a 2-point advantage. If it was to be Walker in second and Turini in fourth, it would be a 4-point advantage. The pictures really do tell the story. Harry Walker is on a charge. There is the gap. 1.1 seconds on the timing screen, but only approximately 4 or 5 bike lengths in real terms. Almost 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go in this race. There is Hellebuss. This is the battle that we really need to keep an eye on there. 32 of Hellebuss. But Harry Walker is just going to squeeze on the pressure. Watching them round now. Harry Walker has the inside line. Harry Walker tries to push out Hellebuss. They're side by side. Rear wheels squirming under power through this dirt. And just about holds on to second place. Does the 32 of Tarod Hellebuss. Walker, he tried, and this time around it wasn't pulled off. The same line there. Harry Walker cuts it down, gets the drive, but he's not close enough to make a move this time around. Over the tabletop, dropping down into this left-hander then. A small jump before this 180-degree right-hander. It's downhill on the approach, but uphill on the exit. Harry Walker, he's right there once again. They're on the same line, so he can't make a move through that right-hander. Hellebuss a little bit wider through this uphill left-hander. We're dropping down now towards this big double. On the step down, big double jump once again. And there's a little bit of dust there. Is there a back marker that will come into play once more? We'll watch, we'll wait, and we'll keep a very close eye on it. There could be. Harry Walker looking for an inside line. It oversteered, then understeered on the crest of that jump, but he's got it all under control. Walker stalking the Norwegian of Tarod Hellebuss as they make their way through on one of the tail enders. Didn't catch a number on that one, but they remained well out of the way. Over the top once again, and Harry Walker looks to the inside line. He's not quite close enough to fire it through. Hellebuss knew he was coming, and he just applied the pressure and carried the momentum around the outside of that left-hand corner. Walker looks to the inside, almost locking wheels, and it's Walker now with the advantage. Harry Walker up into second place. Tarod Hellebuss, long-time race leader, long time in second place, but of course with 1 minute to go, plus the 2 laps, is now in third position. Can he retaliate? Patrick Turini is only 2.8 seconds behind, but what a great day it would be if Tarod Hellebuss could remain in third position to finish this one on the podium in race number 2. That's Mike van Grinsven, number 11, the Dutchman who is third in the championship coming into this weekend. I think it's safe to say he's not had the best of times because he's just been put a lap down by our leading 2. Tarod Hellebuss finding a way through as well, but Mike van Grinsven, I'm not sure what's happened to the big 11 of Mike, but he's been put a lap down. Currently on course to score 6 points in 15th position. Next up will be Turini. Hand in the air there from Mike van Grinsven. He knows that Turini is coming and he's already through. So Turini, he will have 2.5 laps to try and find a way through on the number 32 of Tarod Hellebuss. 2, 1, 0. The clock has struck 0 and there will be 2 laps to go in just a moment's time. Carl Robin Rillo holds a 9-second advantage over Harry Walker. I think it's safe to say that Harry knows that it's a little bit too much too late to overcome that huge margin of over 9 seconds between himself and the teenage Estonian. Turini is the man in your picture. Tarod Hellebuss is right there in front of him. Turini has had many, many podiums within the European Championship. Tarod Hellebuss has not had as many, if any, as Turini. But through this left-hander. Come on, Tarod, you've got 2 more laps. Defend that third place position. Turini, he wants it, and he wants it bad. He knows that he's, at this stage, in this position, losing the red plate. and that will not do his confidence any good as we go into the final 2 rounds. Oh, Turini a little bit loose. Oh, he just about kept it under control, but that is squaring off the corner and then some for Turini. Whether it was intended or not, it seemed to work for him as he has the inside line. And has he made the move? No, Hellebusch holding on to that position, defending that 3rd place with all of his might. Doing a great job there is the Norwegian rider. He's scrapping away, trying to run away from the clutches of the ever-present 15 of Patrick Turini. Plenty of airtime. Turini, oh, I thought he was going to fire it up the inside, and he has done. Turini is through. Turini through into 3rd place, ahead now of the 32 of Harold Hellebusch. So Hellebusch, he's going to have his work cut out to try and reclaim that 3rd place. In fact, Turini, with clear track in front, he knows that it's a little bit too much to get onto the rear wheels of Harry Walker, with a 141.8 for Turini last time around, and a 42.8 for Walker as well. So 1 second a lap quicker. The gap is 2 seconds, and we have 1 lap to go. The maths aren't quite falling in favour of Patrick Turini at this stage. But Carl Robin Rillo having a great ride. 1 lap to go. You can see the board on the left-hand side of your picture. It will be the right-hand side of the circuit as the riders make their way past. Through goes Carl Robin Rillo. Through goes Harry Walker. Turini. Hellebusch. That is your top 4, but we are watching Carl Robin Rillo. Just 18 years of age, a former Finnish quadcross champion, a former Estonian quadcross champion, and he's not had the best of luck so far this year, but he is on course to score his first victory within the 2025 series. Manfred Zienicke in 6th position, ahead of Rainer Spikans and Carlis Neyer. Mark McClellan, overall victor 12 months ago. He's in 9th place, ahead of the 222 Rasmus Sona. So we have 7 nationalities within the top 7 positions. Estonia leads Britain, leads Italy, ahead of Norway, with Poland in 5th, Germany in 6th, Latvia in 7th. Great stuff there for all of these guys, but none more so than Carl Robin Rillo. Such a nice guy to talk to. Had the opportunity to interview him at the previous round at Fox Hills near Swindon, and certainly his English is much better than my Estonian. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Round he comes then. Through the right-hander, just 3 or 4 more corners to go then over this big jump. In fact, we're on to the final corner already. Such is the pace of Carl out of this left-hander. The checkered flag waves, and Carl Robin Rillo, he'll be absolutely thrilled with that race win. 25 points for Carl Robin Rillo. He takes victory by 9.2 seconds over Harry Walker. Patrick Turini, 3.5 seconds adrift from number 1 Harry Walker on that final lap. Harold Hellebusch, a superb effort in 4th place for the number 32 Norwegian rider. And the top 5, it could well be the 416 Polish rider, the home hero of Roman Gwiazda, who will complete the top 5 positions. In fact, no, Manfred Zienicke has found his way through. The 85 of Manfred Zienicke into the top 5, ahead of the 416 of Roman Gwiazda, credited with 6th place. But here is Carl Robin Rillo, just being handed some water here. As we mentioned, local temperature 25 degrees Celsius, as Patrick Turini and Harry Walker make their way towards the interview area. But it's safe to say that these guys have worked so hard. Get that helmet off, get them fluids down you. That's what it's all about. Keep hydrated, especially with this 25-degree weather. Harold Hellebusch just stopping alongside Patrick Turini, giving him a thumbs up there. But fantastic stuff for all of these guys. There is Roman Gwiazda, number 416. He is into the interview area as well, just being handed a bottle of water. Harry Walker, Patrick Turini, Roman Gwiazda. Here it is from left to right. Manfred Zienicke in the back of your picture just going through. He was 5th at the end of that race. Carlis Neyer found a way through on Rainer Spikans, Mark McClellan and Rasmus Sona. That is your top 10. What a fantastic race there. Didn't get off to the best of starts, needless to say, but Carl Robin Rillo, once he hit the front ahead of Harold Hellebuss, there was no stopping him. 9.2 seconds at the end of the race. He was ahead of the number 1 of Harry Walker, who we can go down to and have a quick word with. So, take it away.
So Harry, second position in the second race, but the GP win, and also you are taking the red plate, 2 points in front of Patrick. So how was the race for you?
Yeah, the race was very eventful actually. You know, I got caught up with Robin Rillo at the start, and yeah, I had a good jump, but then coming into the first corner there was a bit of a pile up. So no, I had to work my way through. Torini was actually in front of me. I think he made a little mistake, but no, that was tough out there today. That was a really tough track, that second race. But no, I couldn't be happier. You know, winning the GP overall and then leaving here with a red plate is amazing. I've got a couple of mentions that I want to. It's Father's Day today. So I want to give it to my dad for everything he's done. He's put me here today, and yeah, all the fathers out there. I've got a couple of your mates that are young dads, Murray Graham and James Rutter, so I really want to thank them. My whole team, yeah, my girlfriend, it's been amazing, and yeah, we've got a bit of a break now, but we're going to Latvia with the red plate.
Yeah, congratulations, and see you on the podium.
Thank you.
Great stuff there from Harry Walker, who, as we said, he will go into the next round with the red plate. 3 rounds now complete, and we had 3 different GP winners. Patrick Torini in Kramelin, Randy Neveau in Fox Hills, and now Harry Walker here in Gdansk. Who would it be next in Madonna in Latvia? Well, we've got a few months between now and then, but he has the red plate by just 2 points over the 15 of Patrick Torini, who we can go down to and see what he has to say. So once again, take it away, Nikki.
Patrick, so you fought for the third place till the end. Good race for you, starting from the second row. Here from Gdansk, you are leaving as a second overall. What can you say about it?
Yeah, I'm happy about my weekend, because when I start in second row, it's not easy to take a good position. But yeah, it's not my best weekend, but it's okay.
Yeah, you will have the thing to do in Madonna to retain the red plate for the next event.
Yeah, I try. It's hard because Harry is so fast, but I try. We'll see Madonna.
Okay, good luck for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Patrick Torini there, as happy as what he could be there. Wasn't a whole lot of smiling there from Patrick Torini, but of course he has just relinquished the red plate to number 1, Harry Walker. And let's have a word as well with the 416 of Roman Gwiazda, the local hero.
So Roman, third position for you in front of the home crowd. You will be on the podium. What can you say about that?
Yes, I'm really happy. I want to thank for everybody who support me, for all my friends, for my family, for my wife, for Rager suspension, for Leon from Rager, for perfect suspension. Bike working awesome. I'm really happy from results. I think I'm really good.
Yeah, can we expect you to see you at some of the other races, or?
We will see, maybe next year.
Okay, thank you, and see you on the podium.
Thank you.
Great stuff there from Roman Gwiazda, third place overall there with 20 and 15 points. But it is Harry Walker, a 1-2 finish. He takes the overall GP victory ahead of Patrick Torini with a 2-3 finish. And Roman Gwiazda third, as we mentioned. Harold Hellebuss, what a great weekend he has had. 4th overall ahead of Manfred Zienicke with Carlos Neyer, all on 30 points. Mark McClernand, Rhinus Beekans, Carl Robin Rillo, a non-scoring and a 25, sees him take 9th overall. Rasmus Sona, Mark Verboven, Mikolaj Jemerik, another home hero, in 13th place ahead of Yuri Braille, Kasper Michkowski and Jordi Nicholas Gieler. Tadeusz Racedick, Julian Veldman, Florinas Mikalauskas up next in 19th. Well, the track being freshly watered, ready for the second of 2 Grand Prix races for the FIM World Quadcross Championship. And this is how the championship looks as we come away from Gdansk and head towards Latvia in Madonna. Harry Walker with a 2-point advantage over Patrick Turini, and Turini 36 points ahead of Manfred Zienicke, who is now ahead of Mike van Grinsven. So Carl Robin Rillo ahead of Mark McLernon for 5th and 6th place. Naya, Randy Naveau drops to 8th, Mike Verboven and Marcus Thompson still inside the top 10. Fantastic stuff here over the course of the weekend here in Gdansk. And to get ready for the build-up of the second Grand Prix race for the FIM World Sidecar Cross Championship. That is all for the European Quadcross Championship here from Gdansk. So in the meantime, have a great few months and we'll see you in Latvia. But from myself, Bradley Hicks, take care. Bye-bye.